Cool. How have y'all been trying the white background out? What are you guys thinking? Is there anything that we need to improve on that? We're gonna keep building it out as well using machine vision, and hopefully can get better and better and better. But is there any kind of items you guys are seeing that is having problems with right now? We can get that fixed. And also in terms of like photo room, they're using you guys like shadows too, correct? It's kind of open for discussion. If anyone wants to say anything, if not, no big deal. We can get started as well.
Hey Ty, I just bought an iPhone, switching from Android. Tell me about photo room. What's going on?
Yeah, definitely. So we pushed a white background feature, so it's gonna white out your backgrounds automatically when you photo the items for us, right? It's gonna white out the background so it clears up the photo. In the settings, your listing settings, and they'll be pushed out that way. The new update should fix a couple bugs on that. It's not fully developed, still in beta on that side, but photo room is a great one to use that we're trying to copy as much as possible. Because then our goal personally is to see our goal is to speed up listings dramatically, right? How many items can y'all photo and give to us? To then push to your guys' platform. So that's kind of our overarching goal. So anything that can fix that and kind of speed up that process, we're more than happy to build and implement as fast as possible.
Do everything in one place. Nice.
Exactly, right? We want to be the like the full suite. That's kind of our big goal as well. Cool. Thanks. Awesome. We're talking to Lloyd. Lloyd, you want to go through your store? Any bottlenecks right now? Kind of give everybody what you're selling and go from there.
You know, I'm basically doing on clothes. Store will be open 5 months at the end of the year. I've got 570 items available, and trying to, it's not going to happen, but trying to reach 1,000 by the end of the month. That was my goal. But you know, I've got plenty of inventory, so really that's what I got to get through. I'm to the point, I think, where I need to hire somebody or do more HAMMOQ for photographs, especially. That's why I'm switching to the iPhone, because the Android that I have, you can lock the screen on the phone, but when it comes to photographs, it's got a mind of its own. So that's why I'm switching to the iPhone. My biggest issue.
Okay, keys are right there.
Yep, you can go on, Lloyd. Yeah, so on the Android as well, our Android should be pushed out. The first iteration of it should be pushed out at least midweek this week, and we should be good that way. So hopefully anybody that does have Android will be getting that, and we'll have all the bells and whistles, but it should be pretty damn good.
Okay. Yeah, but overall, for 5 months, I'm feeling pretty happy. A lot of learning curves, and I'm still in it, but basically. It's getting there. I'm figuring out a lot of shortcuts, which is great. So happy.
Yeah, definitely. And then where are you trying to sit at in terms of monthly revenue? What are you trying to get to?
I mean, I'd like to get monthly revenue somewhere around, at this point, 3,500, 4,000. I mean, I'd like much more than that, but right now I'm having some questions about the amount of traffic that's being sent to me. Is it my listings? That's what I'm looking at right now. Anything that's coming due, I'm kind of revising those. If I've been charging shipping, I'm switching those over to free and adjusting price, making sure my listing titles are correct, those type things. So it's doing great there for a while, and now it's just kind of slowed down. So Cassini is probably one of my biggest issues that I've got to figure out. And that's just going to take some time.
Definitely. So we'll touch on that topic so everybody can see it as well. Two things in that. One, it's coming summer slowdown, so you will get hit with some sales. They might drop down, especially from Q4. And whatever you're selling, just look at the sell-through rate, right? So 500 units, we'll say the units. Let's go sell-through. Average sale price. What's your average sale price, Lloyd?
Average sale price is probably around $17 to $20.
Let's call it 20, make it easy.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of shirts and jeans, but I also purchase from liquidation and try and focus on wearable items from there.
Really, are you dressed?
Definitely. Yeah, no, that wasn't that. You're good. So again, whatever you guys are selling, look at it in terms of like this, right? So store units, and then you can even do like your daily things. Well, daily average listings. Lloyd, how many daily average listings are you doing?
15 to 20.
Let's call it 20, make it easy. Cool. I haven't done this before, so let's see if this becomes correct. So
And
storage
really, that
units.
just depends on the items and how many photographs I have to go back and adjust, and it's usually all of them. So that's the iPhone, I'm sure, is going to help on that.
And then in terms of adjusting, is it just average sale price $20 at this section?
Yeah, it's basically you can't freeze the frame. So if I take a picture with the horizontal and then I go to vertical, basically they're all messed up when I go to upload them, and I have to go in and rearrange them, rotate them, which is after you do a day's of work, it's 70, 150 pictures. It's not a great amount of time, but plenty enough to irritate me.
Yeah, understandable. And then what's kind of your daily average in terms of revenue you're pulling in?
That's, I'd have to kind of look at that, Ty, because basically it was running pretty well. But like yesterday, I sold one item. And previous to that, I was doing, 5, 6, 7, sales per day. So I've got some work to do, understanding what's going on.
Yep. And then it's just keep pushing listings in, right? That's the biggest thing. Again, these platforms are a database, just pushing many listings in and that traffic's going to flow. You can do a few things to kind of help out like that. Again, your products are going to determine, so everything goes top down. Whatever products you have, focus on that. That's going to be your biggest winner, right? So find the products that work best and then scale from there. At least that's how I would do it.
Okay, cool.
I don't think this is correct. I'll get this done next time for you guys so we can start plugging numbers for everybody. Cool. Awesome. Anything else on that, Lloyd? If not, thank you for your time.
No, I think I'm still figuring it out. I figure after 6 months, I should be pretty solid, but it's going good. I'm happy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like we couldn't get to 200 and now we're?
What's going on, Karina? Oh, that's me. Cool.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Sweet. Let's go with Phil. What's going on, Phil?
Right, there we go. Hey guys, how you doing, Ty? You well?
Good. How are you, man?
Yeah, good. Been off radar for a while. Just been. We decided to do. We were just getting too many returns. We were getting ordered items that we didn't have in stock. Not lots, but too many that. Too many for comfort. So it's a year and a half since we started. So we had a complete reorganization. We went through every shelf and every SKU. Like we've still got about 100 to do. We've done 500 in the last 10 days.
Nice.
Been through every item in our inventory. Check the SKU. Any long-standing items we've adjusted, we've refreshed, we've reduced the price, we've promoted some of them. So everything on our shelves now is for sale, and we found things that weren't listed. They've been ended because somebody's cancelled an order, and eBay doesn't really remind you to relist it. You have to
Yep.
So we have all that kind of stuff. So we've been through every shelf, and we opened. Due to COVID rules here, we were allowed to open to the public on Monday, yesterday.
Nice.
So we've been doing a lot of Facebook work to get retail sales and build up our kind of bargain discount section. And we've just had in a load of barbecue goods, charcoal, firelighters, barbecue tools, all that kind of stuff. So 2 pallets arrived today for that. That's wholesale, brand new stock. But we've got some pretty good discounts with this supplier. So a lot going on. Yeah. And we've got two more. We've got 3 or 4 more pallets left from the last Amazon batch. So I'll be looking to get into the auctions next week and get another truckload.
Definitely. 2 things on that. How's your retail sales going right now?
Well, we just opened up Monday, so we haven't done a lot of marketing, but we're doing a lot on Facebook. So we've had people in who didn't know about us, and they found us on Facebook. So that's
Nice.
it's organic. We're not doing any paid ads at the moment or boosts. We've got a marketing guy, local marketing guy, is helping us with that for a couple of hundred a month on retainer. So he's helping us with video and graphics, and one of the big local newspapers doing an article on small businesses that are reopening. So
Nice.
I know one of the journalists there, so he's getting us in next week in the local newspaper, or next week or two. So that'll be helpful, put us on the map a bit more. Because all of this came about, as you know, because we decided that anything below kind of £25 sterling just wasn't effective for us as a business with our overheads to sell them on eBay.
Yep.
So we've got those locally, and actually I think we're going to raise that to kind of 40, 50, because all the things that people come in and buy, because we've got that kind of space, it's retail friendly. People are just coming in to pick up a £20 kettle that bought on Marketplace that was 40, that we've descaled and put a new plug on and fused and tested, and they walk out spending 50 or 60 because they're like, oh, I didn't know you were here, I didn't know you did all this.
Yep.
So we're using Marketplace as kind of not a loss leader, because we still make money on those products, but we're using Marketplace sales or listings to draw the local community in, and it's working quite well.
Yeah, that's what I love about like the local game, right? Like local game, no one's really tapping into it, especially bridging that local to online. That's what we're trying to do it, trying to do it at scale, right? So more people can push in, then the more word of mouth, and it's like you said, it's free, right? You make money, and people come to your retail storefront, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So another couple of days, and we'll be a bit more organized in here, and we're going to crank up our marketing a little bit next week and get some more eBay listings done next week, and kind of build that back up again.
Are all your items on Fish Marketplace as well?
No. Is that a loaded question?
No. I'm interested in myself, right? Like I would say that would probably be my first thing, right? Is get everything on there, even your online items, so people start picking them up and at least drive more traffic to you, right?
Yeah, my thought. Yeah, that's certainly doable. My thought behind that was that every 6 weeks you can renew, and I don't know if it's the same in the US, but here in the UK you can renew a Marketplace listing 6 times. So after 6 weeks it kind of drops off the cliff. So I don't really know how the search engines work after that 6 weeks. We have had the occasional sale on something that's been there for 3 months. But you have to, it's like eBay, you have to go into those listings a few times a week and like, okay, what's dropped off? And then you have to get that ability to refresh, you've got to reload the listing again. So you get 6 more opportunities to renew it. But it's, so we haven't got everything. We've got, out of our 700 listings, we've got probably 40 or 50 on Marketplace. So we kind of go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In terms of that, like what kind of numbers is that bringing? Just obviously it's been early, right? You can kind of scale it that way, right? I would start tracking how many items you have on your marketplace and see how much units you're selling a day or even a week, and then it's going to be the same, right? You'll drive just as much amount of traffic the more you put onto those marketplaces as well, which you can start dialing those numbers in pretty easily on that.
Yeah, we could definitely do more Facebook listings, and we are moving towards that for those kind of, that 20 to 30 pound items. We're getting more of them on, especially a lot of the stock we get is boxed items that need building, like kind of IKEA style furniture and shelving. And they've obviously been opened because they're Amazon return stock. So we've had situations where we've shipped one out and there's a screw and a bolt and a washer missing, and the guy wants to send it back, and I'm like, oh, okay, we need to open these and we need to build them. And then we realized if we build them, that's a premium service to local customers, right, who maybe don't want to be bothered to build something or are not very good at it. So once we build them, we photograph them and sell them locally. And we've stopped selling those things on eBay because we have to build them. So to send them on eBay, you've got to unbuild them, dismantle them, box them back up, and you can never get them in the box the same once you've built these things.
Yep.
So we're selling all that stuff locally now, and it's bulky, you know, like baby car seats and high chairs, and we've had a load of baby stock in from Amazon last few weeks. So we're just doing those locally, and it brings people in. It helps put us on the map locally. So marketplace really helps, and it's free, as we, you know, that's the bonus.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Let me kind of like help everybody out as well. It's kind of what Phil's doing is fantastic, right? So he's taking his like excess, think about it as like excess. So he has a ton of product, right? Some he's splitting off to eBay, and the rest he's moving to Facebook Marketplace. Everybody can do this as well. Whatever excess you have, figure out what's sustainable and how can you get rid of it or move it. Like locally is a good one. Auction, I would recommend locally before auction for sure. And then think about it as a huge like flow of product, right? Each person is going to have a let's call it 1,000 units. And especially if you're buying auction-based items, they're not all going to be eBay-based. Kind of what Phil's saying. What he's doing is then pulling out, let's say, 500 of these 1,000 and putting them on Facebook Marketplace under that 40 pounds. And then trying to get rid of the rest at higher, because your local is going to cost you more, because think about it, the less traffic to your store, and it takes people out of their time, so they want a discount on it, right? That's the biggest thing. If you can do it at scale, like you can start pulling in a lot of cash. And again, what Phil's doing is he's saying, okay, 40 is my baseline. Anything over that, I'm putting on online, right? And everybody can do this as well. Buy bulk, and you can do the same thing each time. If it's clothing, shoes, auction items, whatever it may be, like I would start breaking it up and figuring out what you can do with what. Because instead of like a thrift model, you're really picking each one, so you can't get that flow in. That's why like the sourcing part's the biggest one. And then if you get the product, you can then figure out what to do with it pretty easily. Cool. We used to do the same thing with estates as well. So we do the same idea. Is the big stuff like Phil's doing, we would toss it out to consignment stores, let other people house it, let other people eat the cost. We do 50% of it, and then that's how we would scale like that huge bulk, and then try to like portion it off to the correct locations. It works really well, especially if you can get it off your hands and it moves faster. Cool. And last question, Phil, on my side, is prices going up on the auctions right now? Because I heard in the US, because there's so many bin stores, auction prices are flying up.
Yeah, the last auction I did was a B stock, Amazon B stock auction. Actually, it was, the previous one was 1,300 pieces. This one was 1,100 pieces, and the price, it was £1,500 more expensive. What's that at the moment? 18, yeah, $2,000 more expensive.
$2,000. Yeah,
that's 6-7 weeks.
And in UK, there's no like bin stores, correct? It's you're kind of like one of the first like pioneers on that side. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're just dipping our toes in this small unit, and when we move, we'll have some big bins, like similar to what Crazy Cas Boys do. We're gonna kind of look at that. Maybe not in the same way as what they do, but you know, some kind of hybrid version.
Yes, I love the hybrid model. You can make more on your products online that actually then pay for the whole thing, and then the rest is just free, right? That's what I love. That's what these big guys are doing, but they're doing it at a lesser scale. So again, what they're doing is they're picking out the cream of the crop, pulling that off, putting it online, and then they're liquidating in pallets the rest to everybody else. They're doing the bins or something along those lines.
Well, yeah, we thought we were thinking kind of up to about £50 to £100. We can have that in the shop, and then some of those £50 to £100 items can go online, but definitely the bigger items will sell on eBay for more profit than we can get locally, because with a budget store, there's going to be a discount bargain store. There's going to be perhaps a limit to what people will spend. So, you know, the thing we've got to do is, the difficulty we've faced is, if you've got all the stock on one set of shelves, it's trying to inventory it all and make sure if it sells on Facebook, you've got to take it off eBay, and vice versa. And I've made a few mistakes myself with being out of stock, and obviously eBay gives you a ding for that, and you know, but we're learning.
Yeah, 100%. So that's kind of our big mission, right? Is see if we can kind of, we want to be able to tie everything together, right? That's kind of like our like the next year mission is if we can tie everything together, then there won't be any of those errors or mistakes. It's kind of our big push on our end. So hopefully, Visit Marketplace is definitely on our radar for that. At least getting that complete feedback loop done.
I'm gonna have to excuse myself because I've got my son's parent-teacher meeting starting in about 10 minutes on Zoom. So I just wanted to jump in and say hi, and then I've got to kind of dive out.
Definitely, Phil. Thanks for jumping on, man.
All right, I'll see you again. See you guys again soon. Thank you.
Good job.
All right, cheers, Tom.
Sweet. Let's go, Shelby. Shelby, how's your how's your listing process going, or your sourcing process going? I know you're talking about the consignment base last time.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep. How's it going, Shelby?
I'm good, thanks. It's going good. The last couple weeks I've been really looking for some wholesalers and have found quite a few. It's a little overwhelming, like now that I found like a spot, like I'm finding way more than I thought that I was going to. So it's taking me like days to, email and call a bunch of people. But I've had one that was like in one spot, not too far away, which I thought would be good, but that ended up didn't work. It didn't work out. So then the next day, actually, something on a person on eBay actually reached out and was asking if I was interested in wholesaling, which I was kind of like confused because I didn't know that you could like search for resellers, but they kind of just like filtered, to listings and how many reviews and stuff people had. So they were actually local to me, which is really nice. And I just went to there yesterday to their warehouse and went through a bunch of stuff and, bought like a pallet worth. So that was really fun. And I'm really glad that I was able to find something like that because, now I have an overflow of inventory where I was like not having that much at, the last couple of weeks because I've been listing more.
And in terms of this wholesale, is it the same product wholesale, or is like a liquidation pallet that is all mixed items as well?
It's just like raw donations. So it's just a lot of clothing and shoes and accessories and stuff, just raw donations that people get or give, and then they sell it by the pound. So I kind of like feel like it's almost kind of like going to the bins, but you're by yourself. So it's kind of nice to have, that to yourself. And then, I mean, obviously you pay for it first and then you go through it and they kind of like give you a couple other bins there to, get rid of like the blankets and stuff if you don't want those or something, which is really helpful because then you don't have to lug all that back because I mean I have like an SUV and I filled it completely. So I'm like
Nice.
grateful that you were able to take some of those things away and not have to like take them back to Goodwill or something.
And how's your sales going so far this month?
It dipped a little bit. I kept going up and up, the last couple months, but I understand, summer's coming and I kind of figured that would happen. And also I actually didn't use HAMMOQ just for a couple of days because I was trying to cross list some things that I wanted to get rid of on Poshmark. So I was just like kind of revamping that area so that I could get those items off and not have them double listed. But as soon as I stopped after a couple of days, I realized that obviously you guys are so much better at details and item descriptions and everything, because I think that was part of the reason too that the sales dipped, which, made me realize how much it is a help. And I really appreciate all the work you guys do.
Thank you. That's nice. Thank you so much. Awesome. And so this how would you say other people on the call can help or at least find kind of that wholesale supplier, or is there any methods that you would recommend?
I didn't really know how to look at first. I mean, I did, Google a whole bunch of different things for a while and finally stumbled across, I think I just did it local and then it kind of branched out, from mileage at that point. And there are some, that I looked at in the UK and there are some that I looked at in the US, but I ended up going with that one that's local to me. But also I did find another one just for vintage clothing in particular, down in the South somewhere. And I'm excited for that. I just got that box today, so I'm excited to open it and see what's in there. And I mean, obviously it's a little more expensive than the other place that I'd went to, but I think it'll be worth it for the return on investment. And I think that, if you just keep keep searching and keep, get determined, about finding something, because it just takes work like everything else. And, obviously the more work you put into it, the outcome will eventually be there.
Definitely. And then are you skewing each supplier differently, or are they also the same baseline skew?
What do you mean?
Let's say you're, let's call it James the one from down the street. Let's call them, I don't know, James, right? And then your other one is the Quick Lots or something along those lines. Are you dictating which items are from those people or those suppliers, or are they just the same? You skewing them the same across the board?
Yeah, I think that I would, in my SKU that I do put on the listings, I have like how much I pay for each item. But I usually take like whatever that lot is plus shipping, or if I get it online, and then I'll divide it between the items. And then I'll just put like that lot up of items with that particular SKU. And then, the next lot of items, I'll do that. So one might be, a couple dollars, and the next one might be $15. I'll just adjust that SKU accordingly for that lot of items, and list them individually with that SKU.
Love it. Yeah. So for everybody else as well, like tracking those numbers from suppliers is super helpful, because you can know which supplier is going to be the best, right? And then I would say double down on that, exactly what Shelby's doing, right? Is putting it in the SKU, and she's actually dictating the cost of goods sold as well. 90% of resellers don't know their numbers. I would highly recommend knowing those numbers and the suppliers attached to those as well. Super helpful. And then you can start dictating what kind of items. You can even break it down inside items. Shelby's saying she's buying vintage as well as a wholesale connection as well. You can then see which one you would rather go to, the time involved and the price that it's selling for, and the sell-through rate per unit. That's how you can really dial it down, and then you can then scale that exponentially, right? As Shelby saying, my vintage is paying me 5 to 10x. You can then say, okay, I'm going to buy 10 times more vintage and then post 10 times more vintage. You're going to get that huge increase in volume, which should be super helpful. Awesome. Sweet, Shelby. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for calling on me.
Definitely. Let's go to somebody new today. What's going on, Mimi?
Hey, Ty, I have a question.
Yep, shoot.
Delisting from eBay, does it affect your sale?
In terms of delist, relist, or just delisting just in general?
Just delisting, like removing item.
Yeah, so it's going to so if you're tying in between different marketplaces, it's going to help, right? Because you don't want to double sale on those marketplaces, right? So the delisting is going to help on that side. I would highly recommend delisting. If it's not with us or with somebody else, that's fine. Just getting those down. The delist relist is going to, so if you delist it and then repopulate it, that does help sales, or at least that's what the common conception is on that side. It will help move more product if you delist relist as well.
Okay. Because I'm not getting sale. I only get like 2 or 3 a day. And even though I'm new, I just started, but it still is very small amount of sale. So I was wondering, is it because I'm removing listing when I sell it on another platform? Is that why?
No. So what platforms are you on right now?
eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari.
Okay, yeah. So eBay is going to be the main source of traffic. It's about 75%. We see Poshmark and Mercari about the other 25%. So if you sell on a different site, it's not going to ding your sales if you delist it on eBay, as long as it doesn't sell on that platform that you take it down. That will ding it on that side. How many units do you have in your store right now? Let's just go to your eBay store.
About 1,200.
1,200. Okay, you're only getting 2 to 3.
You guys help me listing it, most of it. Thank you.
Definitely, for sure. And then on that, is it mostly clothing, or what are you selling?
Mainly shoes and clothes.
Mainly shoes. I'm not sure why. With shoes, you should be able to move a lot faster. At 1,200 listings, the sell-through on shoes is like 5%. So that's what you should be hitting on that. At least that's what our other customers are doing with that 5%. How are your listing settings? Are they comping it high? How is the comp price in terms of competitors and prices as well?
I tried both, high and low. I told OVA to change it, and it's not working. So I opened a new store now, just for eBay, not cross listing, just to see what's gonna happen.
Yes, I would say I would hold off from another store. That's not going to solve it, right? I would say it's going to be 2 things. One, are you listing daily, correct?
Yeah.
And then what is your store name? I can give it a quick check and I'll go through your store name together as well.
Regular dash 30.
Like raccoon or can you spell it out for me, please?
It is R.
Mhm.
Wait, let me see. REGULU dash 30.
REGULU. That's 30. Here we go. Okay, let's just look at your source bit where you can see this as well. Cool. Okay, so let's run through some of these items. Don't worry about the Amazon, that's just my own extension. Yeah, don't worry about that. Cool.
Let's see, no,
Let's
nothing.
just go through time, most recent. The shipping is too high in my opinion. On this side, these ones are fundamental. Here, let's go.
And
Oops. And how are you buying your products?
from the big.
Just even going from this. So what I'm saying, I'll just kind of talk out loud to makes it a little helpful. So this is brand. Let's just go through. Yes. Okay. So I'm seeing right now is just this product. Yeah. So just in like UES, and I just typed in shoes, or let's do some keyword, right?
Mhm.
There's only been Camp US. Everything on here is sold by price and brand. So on this platform especially, people are looking at individual products. They're looking to either buy that for the style purposes or because they're trying to reproduce a similar item. So just this one thing, there's not many sales in this brand, right? So I'll say this is not the brand that I'd be picking out. Out of the 12, it's like sorted. This looks like a private label brand from maybe Amazon or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 products that are 3, 10, 12. So out of all listings on here, out of 50, there's only 12 that are the similar brand and only 1 sold. So I'd say that the product isn't my favorite on these side. I'd probably stay away from this one unless you want to move it for really cheap. As you can see, here's the same item, give or take. It's almost exactly the same. Yeah, this is exactly the same. So this item sold for $9 plus $7 shipping. A lot of times when we do price that low, people are not happy with the pricing on that side. So like this is about $20 plus shipping too high on that side. I would say drop it down because so prices are going to sell based on the market value, not anything else. So if it's not a market value, it's not going to move or like you might hit it once or twice. Let me go back to your store. These gels are better. Drop the shipping cost to at least $12 or $12.95. Make sure it's a fitting and flat rate. Some of the shipping's too high. Let's just pick up another one. I don't know if that brand. I guess it should be good. Combat boots. Well, might not be able to. USA. See, this looks like another label. If not, if you find a brand on it, because they aren't. This is just the sole type.
Yeah, it is. And I can't see the brand.
Nor can I. Let's just see if we can find something somewhere else. These are really good. Cat boots. This one should move. That's the thing. Good enough brand. This one should be fine. Yeah, they're priced well on this side. This should move. Let's run the silk comps. $47, decent pricing. Yeah, this one should be moving pretty fast. So these should move on this side, free shipping. Okay. Let's get on this side. This one should move pretty fast. Let's check the sold versus the non-sold. So 25 sold. Let's see the sell-through rate on this product. Uh, 44. Yeah, so this should sell within the month on this side. As a price. This one should sell fast, at least. Good pricing in this one. This one should move. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Cash. Yep. 5 minutes. Maybe some just I'm not sure why these ones won't sell. Okay, let's check another one. Let's just go through the store again. Let's run through sales and look through sell through. Okay, 6. Priced. These ones looks like it's priced too high in my opinion.
Okay.
20, 40. It's going for 40. The sell through is kind of slow as well. 42, 15. Like, and what I'm for everybody, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the sold comps. I'm looking at the comp based on it as well. You see that the highest one of this brand, everything from my brand and model, deerskin. Since this is a unique style, that's probably why it's sold. This is closest, about $20 too high on that side. But just the sell-through rate on this one's pretty rough, right? So 69 are for sale. and only 6 have sold with an average sale price of, let's just call it between these three, like 20 to $30 USD, maybe 32 for looking at this on this side.
So should I run a sale like a whole
I'd run a
store?
sale. I'd run a sale pretty hard on this one, maybe 20%, and you can just drop it down, see what works best. And I would continue running that sale. I'd have our team price a little lower on that side. Stuff. It's just a lot of 3. Yeah. So this one, a lot of 3 of this of a similar brand, so 30. Okay. Yes, like the average sale price is a lot smaller on this. That's the problem with some of the bin stuff, is you're getting at the tail end. So you either have to do scale and volume at a reasonable price, because what's happening is every time it drops down. So what these companies are doing is they're going from, they're getting donations in, putting in their store. Resellers are picking it from their store at the higher rate price, and then it's getting pushed down. The end of that price gets for $1, right? So if it's not worth $1 in resellers' mind that goes to that store, it's then going to get pushed down to the bins. That's why bin stuff is a little bit harder to sell. It's about volume. Because the arbitrage there is you're putting it, like what we're doing is we're putting things online to then take the arbitrage at a more trafficked area, such as these marketplaces, and that's what we're trying to do, right? So if it gets down to that side, it's pretty rough. You can find some gems that slip through the cracks, but it's a little bit harder to find those gems on that. So the 2 I picked out, I'd say that 2 are 2 would be type of item, and the third one would be price. I dropped the price on that one. So I would run a sale first, start moving some items. Again, we're looking, everything is they're all, everybody has the same type of items, right? It's all about price and then how many items can you list at scale to get that done. Let's go through this one more. This one should move. Brown leather lace up. Clark's. Clark's original desert boots. Come on. Let's get it here. The titling is good. I like the title. Price, ankles. Let's just check the sold listings. New, used. Shipping still on this one, in my opinion. Let's get used. Decent sell through on these. These ones should be moving pretty quick. Let's filter this from most recent to highest price first. 77. 13. Yeah, it's interesting. Casual. This price shouldn't be too big of a deal on this one. This one should be moving pretty fast. For which ones are Vietnam. And where they're made is pretty interesting as well, right? So things that are made in different locations are going to sell for more or less depending.
Right.
So this price should be moving pretty fast. I don't think this one's good. Everything's good in this one. Yeah, I'd say first let's run a sale, see if we can move it. 15, 40. So you're at 40 plus 15 shipping. 40 plus 15 shipping. 40 plus 15 shipping. This is a little bit high in terms of the total, right? So we have 8. I'd say 34. I would, if it was me, I'd price it at about 34.99 and try to move these at scale. But you have a better 34 to 40 bucks. You're a little bit topped out on this. You're in the top. You're definitely top. So, yeah, so let's run a sale real fast. Make sure we can get sales. So because at 1,200 you should be selling more than 1 or 2, especially in shoes as well.
Yeah, I
And then,
only feel like 2 or 3 like a day. It's not moving at all.
Yep. let's just work on that pricing too, and some of the shipping is a little bit too high as well. I'd say work on the shipping. Make sure we dial the shipping in. Even I would say even free shipping is going to be your better play to start moving more items. If it was me, I would switch everything over to free shipping and then have that medium price tag on that, and then start taking offers at scale. You should have a lot more sales if you do those three, and then run a sale. Those are three things: shipping, run a sale, and then keep prices a little bit lower, and you should be moving more product.
Okay.
Cool, awesome, and thanks for jumping in as well.
Okay.
And I wouldn't open up a new store. It's gonna be rough.
Oh, I already did, but no, that store, I'm not gonna cross list just for that store.
Yeah. Okay. And you can't as long as you can change the title, but if you cross this over to the same store in the same marketplace, especially the big ones, they're going to flag it and then hit you with having multiple stores. If you change the title, no one's gonna know, but somebody's gonna look at it and think, oh, these are the two same items, and then they're gonna flag it on that. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Mimi.
Thank you.
I understand. Clay says, hey, Ty, I use the browser interface for listing. Is there a way to list a product within more detailed view? Cool. So Clay asked, hey, Ty, I use the browser interface for listing. Is there a way to list the product with more detailed view rather than the basic options that we have? Often I have to use it for and go and edit it from the product. Clay, what kind of other product information are you adding to your listings? And what type of items are you selling as well?
It's easier for me to just tell you here.
Perfect.
I'm selling eyeglasses, so oftentimes I
Oh, yeah.
have to leave a note for the VA as far as the sizing goes, because it's very specific. And the basic listing view doesn't have that option to leave notes. Also, oftentimes I'll type in, like the brand name and other information just to give the VA a little bit of help when it comes to listing it. Sometimes it's hard for them to understand what they need to do. So the more info I can kind of put it in without doing all the work, it helps them out and they have better accuracy listing.
Do you have an iPhone or Android?
Oh, no, I'm saying I'm using a desktop, my browser.
Correct. Yeah. So right now we'll start pushing some more information so you guys can put more information into the browser interface. I would try the iPhone if you do have an iPhone. If you have Android, it should be coming out pretty soon because you can enter a lot more information that way as well. But 100%, we will be adding more ways to put more details in and templatize things. The templates should be up probably this week or next. You guys can be able to push more through and have less time typing it in as well.
Right. That'd be great. All right, cool. Thanks.
Definitely, man. 100%. Cool. We have 10 minutes left, guys. Anybody have any questions that we can run through? If not, I can just go through some sourcing stuff as well. Cool. Let's run through some sourcing then. Word doc. Cool. So kind of going off what Shelby was doing as well. So what she's doing is pretty unique and awesome. So first off, she's figuring out what she's selling. So what is and then we're going back up the chain of where it's coming from. So she's saying she's getting it from a donation, a wholesaler, and a wholesaler. Also in general. So first off, what are you selling? And then reverse back up. So all the product that we're getting is coming down the chain across the board. So it's going from spell it awesome manufacturer to a retail store. Then it's going to consumers. Either consumers are going to either sell it. So continue donations. Anything else goes to donations. You can see the consignments. Donations, and then it's going to then those donation centers are retailing it. Then they're dropping prices. Then they're going to the location. This is like a bulk by pound. This location bulk by a pound, and then it's getting baled. Sees sold. Cool. So this is the full thing, especially you guys are doing clothing, shoes from the side. This is kind of the whole location of how items are getting towards, right? So if you're gonna try to look at a unique way to source, think about where the chain's coming from and try to stick your foot in somewhere along these lines. So we've had great success. People they're doing. So these guys can even wholesale as well. So it's like big brother, big sister. There's a bunch of locations that take donations and they just wholesale them off for the pound. So this is probably like a V2, right? So let's call it V1 in terms of version 1. V1s it's going to be a thrift / bins. V2 is going to be going to these donation spots. Buying bulk. V3 is going to consumers. Each time you go up this chain right here, you're gonna get more revenue across the board. Our biggest players are in this wholesale, kind of what Shelby's doing, and the consumer side. These are where people are making a killing off. That's where they're in that 7-figure mark because they have the volume, right? So V1 is going to the bins thrift. Great way to start out for sure, but you're gonna cast that time out, right? Because you have a certain amount of hours in a day. Let's say you have 18 hours a day. Let's say 5 is listing. 5 is listing, and the rest you're going sourcing. So it means you have only a certain amount of time during the day. That means you got to leverage your time as much as possible. That's the reason why this wholesale donations works really well, because you're buying huge amounts, and then it's all about that processing. Again, we're taking the arbitrage of the traffic. Where's traffic coming from? If there's not enough traffic at a certain location, a retail store. So what these big thrifts are looking at is why, like, it goes on the chain and it hits that resellers are a huge part of their customer base, because they're not putting it up online because they have only so much traffic in these donation spots, or thrift areas. Either you have to be a reseller to pick the product up, or you have to be a specific customer that's going to pick this product up. So then it goes down the stream, depending on price, right? And then it gets picked up and then resold as well. So whatever you guys are going to do, look at these next 2 spots here. Donation spots, you can hit 7 figures right here. Again, this is going to be pretty powerful, especially if you're buying per pound and at scale. The one thing with this one is it's hard to you're buying bulk, so you're going to have some excess inventory. Sort of what Phil's doing as well, is then doing a local game or some way to get rid of the inventory. So, or like liquidation, so products. You want to try to turn your excess inventory or something that's not worth the money to list online. You want to turn that into cash, however it is, just to juice some of that profits and pull up. That's why Phil's doing that local game, bring the retail sector, and then also you can do a liquidation. You can palletize it. Palletization and liquidation will be less profitable than local, but takes up less time. So it all depends on kind of what you're looking for. Consumer base, this is where we're seeing a huge hitters are at. Is they're going to consumer, because if you can see here, like going up to consumers as well is going to be the most profitable every time, just because you're getting to that next level. Every time each time this goes down the chain, somebody's taking a cut, right? So let's make this easier. Let's say manufacturers paying $10 per unit, or they're making it for 10. They're selling it to the store for usually it's a double markup, so they're selling it for the store for 20. The customers are buying it for 40. And then it starts going back down. So these guys are usually getting it for free. But then they're making money on it as well. Retailing, they're making a profit. Usually it's about 10x. 10x, so they're getting it for, if not 100x, whatever it may be. Let's call it 1000x. Like sometimes you can just hit it off the top. These guys are literally getting gold. They're actually getting gold to these things. That's what they're making their money on. But then it hits us with our margins. So we're buying it. We're looking for a double location, and the resellers are trying to do it. Resellers are looking for a double 2x. Each time you go up this ladder, you'll see where it's coming from. So if you can get it from the consumer for $1, you're going to get it for the cheapest. This is what we're seeing with a couple clients. They're getting this consumer item that sells for 40. They're ending up paying $1 to $3 per unit cash, because consumers rather get money for it than donate it 99% of the time. So that's a good way to go up the chain. I'd say first start with thrift, then do donations to hit a bulk, so you can't process any more this way, or you want to look for more revenue. And then I would be looking at a unique way to go direct consumers in terms of products. Cool. That's about it for today, guys. Again, thank you for your time. Every Tuesday, same time, 9 a.m. Arizona time. Any other questions we can finish up with? If not, I'll probably jump over another call.
Thank you, Ty.
Yep. Thanks, Mimi. Awesome. Sweet, guys. Have a great rest of your week.